Check one, check two, check one, check two. Hey. We are live. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sober Talk. I am Tom Mabe, and if you want to go live with us tonight, first of all, I hope you had a happy Labor Day weekend and all that good stuff. And if you want to go live, DM me or send me email tom@tommabe.com. Be sure to like our Sober Talk Facebook page. The link is in the description. So here we go. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Sober Talk. I had a really good weekend. Didn't occur to me to drink. It made me think about all the times that I did drink while I was on weekends like this. When you drink, you'll always find an excuse to drink. It's going to be a celebration. Celebrate. Are you going to be depressed? You're going to be, for whatever reason, you're going to drink. And today, okay, so I got this app. Let's talk about this app I got on my phone. It is called My Toolkit. My Toolkit. Today has been 52 days for me. My braces are hurting. I got a bracket right here. Zoom in, camera guy. Zoom in. Wait, there's no camera guy. It's just me. I'm here by myself at the Comedy Compound here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm doing this. But this here is the 52nd day of me quitting. I quit on July 18th, and that's great. That's good. That's a good deal. Let's see. It has a view your. Let me make sure I'm not getting feedback or something. Check one. I got these new little handy dandy headphones. But I got this. Let's see. View today's daily reflection on the Alcoholics Anonymous. So I'm following a 12-step program because I'm learning that quitting drinking is one thing. I could quit drinking. That's not the problem. Staying quit is the problem, and being happy without drinking. This was the first time in my life that I'm learning why I drank, why I'm not happy unless I do drink. It's just I'm pissed at myself for waiting so long to do this. Anytime they even have 12 steps for people who eat too much, and people who really have a weight problem because they're addicted to eating. And it comes down to it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you, and that's the case. That's the case. Why people drink, why people eat, why people gamble, why they have some kind of addiction. That unhappiness has to get out some way. Has to be obsessed with something. I have a dear friend who doesn't drink, but he loves to gamble and he loves working out. Boy, he just works out every single day. He looks 20 years younger than what he is, but he has a very addictive personality. So that rat in the corner will come out somehow, some way. Let me get to my, make sure I'm even live. Oh, did you guys see that video that my daughter and I did today? It's the paint in a can, swivel can video. It's really cute. It's doing really well, actually. So I don't see us live. So let me just make sure that we are live, and I went live on the right page and all that. Yeah, there we are. There we are. We are live, people. We are live. We have 25 comments. Done down 2 bottles of vodka mixed with some Xanax. Good for you, brother. Love your shoot, Tom Mabe. Good shoot. Real good shoot. That's Douglas Martin. Hi to Douglas. Randolph Stevens. So I have a question. What made you quit drinking for, if you don't mind me asking? Mine was a combination of health and not being a good person. Not acting inappropriate, saying bad things to people I care for, people I love, when I was drunk, and it made me do things that I wasn't proud of, and it turned me into someone I wasn't. And it also gave me cardiomyopathy, and right now trying to roll out this pulmonary hypertension, which comes from abusing alcohol or whatever. So that's why I quit. That guy had a question here, and let's see here if there's any other questions I can get to. Let's see. That was my problem. I have an addictive personality. That's Mickey Griggs. Mike calls off as always. Roll Tide. Are you selling the painting fundraiser? Jamie, I'm going to mail you a piece of our backyard artwork, and I'll have Mackenzie and myself will autograph it. Jamie Griffith Carlisle is a yes, I'm live. Is a thanks, Dirk. Jamie is a childhood friend that I've known my entire life, and just salt of the earth person, her and her whole family. So let's see here. So yeah, so that's I got some new headphones. I'm excited about that. I'm run just so you know, after 52 days, it's taken me a minute, but I'm not having issues with stairs unless I eat right before I do the stairs. But when I was drinking alcohol, man, I get winded really, really easy. And a lot of it's because of weight gain. A lot of it's because of just my blood vessels and everything would just kind of contract or whatever. They do this. Yeah, big word right here. Insert appropriate word here because I don't have good vocabulary. I know like myopic and sanguine and bifurcate. I learned those on a cassette tape when I went to Hebron Junior Middle High School. And okay, all right. So let's. So on my app here it says view today's daily reflection on the Alcoholics Anonymous website. And again, I don't care if you're a drunk, if you're an addict or anything. You can be a normal person. This is a great book. The big book is a great book for anyone to read, and it's like a roadmap for life. I highly recommend reading it. So view today's reflection. Um, we ask his protection. We ask his protection and care with complete abandon. Alcoholics Anonymous. I could not manage my life alone. I had tried that road and failed. My ultimate sin dragged me down to the lowest level I have ever reached and unable even to function. I accepted the fact that I desperately needed help. I stopped fighting and I surrendered entirely to God. Now, God could be your God. God as how you understand Him. My God is the universe. Definitely a big fan of God, but I have two higher powers. So only then did I start growing. God forgave me. A higher power had to have saved me because the doctors doubted that I would survive. I have forgiven myself now, and I enjoy a freedom I have never before experienced. That's kind of where I'm at, day 52. I've opened my heart and mind to Him. The more I learn, the less I know. A humbling fact, but I sincerely want to keep growing. I enjoy serenity, but only when I entrust my life totally to God, as long as I'm honest with myself and ask for His help. I can maintain these rewarding existence. Just today, I strive to live His will for me soberly. I thank God that today I can choose not to drink. All right, there you go. Today, life is beautiful. So that's yeah. I've tried it with self will. I'm trying with God's will, the universe will, and bam, I probably just lost 10,000 subscribers and followers by reading that biblical thing. I have a wide range of fans and followers, and a lot of them don't like when I talk about God and Jesus and stuff. And I get it. You can leave now. Okay, bye bye. Bye, Karen. All right, here we go. So, my God is my kin. Now they believe in me. There you go, Carol. About me too. Only female. Let's see. Frozen. Is it Frozen? Jamie, go to a different. Unless you were talking about that Disney movie, go to a different a different browser. So, Gina Jesse, glad you're doing well. Not easy task in this crazy world. So yeah, that tell you what, that is it is really tough right now. I went somewhere today to pick up some vacuum bags for this little stair thing, and I got there and I'm like, crap, I did not have my mask on. Oh, I didn't even have it on me. I just stopped in the car and drove up there real quick. Totally forgot it. I took my wife's little car, and I kind of opened the door a little bit. It's just a little A1 vacuum up in J-Town. I said, hey, I left my mask at home. Do you need me to ride back? He said, I'm wearing a mask as long as one of us is wearing one. So that guy was cool. Big shout out to A1 Vacuum up in J-Town on Taylor Road. But I was just there for a second. So, anywho, is anyone else frozen? So Justin said he ended up drinking today. Not happy with my choice. Well, dude, you can start tomorrow. What was it your end game for drinking? My end game was I had a white knuckle it for a while and just had to just stop. And after like the first day was hard. The second day wasn't hard. The second day was not as hard. The third day, I'm like, I got 2 days under my belt, and I was wanting to protect those sober days. The more sober days you get under your belt, hold on here. I just got an important text. Uh, no, I see these, Al, and those aren't very flattering pictures. So we'll talk about that later. Uh, so I'm multitasking. So I don't recommend, I do not recommend white knuckling it. If you have insurance, you have the ability to go to a detox center. If you can go to a treatment facility. I don't care what, especially as we get older, you don't want to stop drinking or something, without, I had some problems. I should have taken more precautions, but you don't want to, at our age, try to, you can die from, and this is going to give people excuses to drink, but you can die from detoxing from alcohol. It's one of the few drugs, only drugs that you can actually die from detoxing without help. So I think with me just drinking beer, I was okay. I think if you're drinking vodka every single day, a couple bottles or something. Either way, I'm not a doctor. I'm just, like I said, I'm some dude here who enjoys talking about being sober, and a lot of people email me say they too. So I would just say check out, find a therapist to help you through it, find AA to help you through it, find church to help you through it, whatever it takes to help you through it. I'm trying the 12 steps right now. But definitely go to your doctor and say, hey, I'm considering stopping drinking. Can you give me some medicines to calm me down? I know your doctor can give you like 8 to 12 days worth of some kind of Valium, Xanax type thing. Again, don't quote me on that, but it can kind of help you with the withdrawals and all that good stuff. So, but again, I know nothing, and I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just talking about, you know, my journey through this, and if you want help through it too. So let me text my buddy here. I got a guy who I was getting ready to call, and he's dealing with something that just popped up in his world. So let me see if I could call this guy here. Let me see if now he's in a different time zone, so it may be a tad challenging to get him on the phone, but let's go ahead and try it. Anyway, I'm so glad you guys are here. I needed this. We've been a few days without doing sober talk because of the holiday. I had a weekend of shows. I did not drink one drop of anything. I had bottled water the whole night. Actually, I had one bottle of water I took with me on Thursday night and kept on filling it up through their water tap thing. Um, Drove home and no worries or concerns about getting pulled over. So that was really, really cool. Here we go. And do me a favor right now in the description, if you're watching, go like my page dedicated to this show, Sober Talk. It's just at Sober Talk. And there'll be a picture of me and a buddy on there as an avatar. So let's see if I can get this guy on the phone. And let's see if he's around. This is Robert. Robert, if you're watching, I am calling you. Be the fat guy in the hat. Pick up, all right? Yeah. Okay, Robert's not going to pick up. So, uh, the Dennis Cruz, only you can. All right.
Hi guys, this is Rob Becker from Kingdom 6.
All right, so only you can answer that. Hey Tom, if I drank a 12 pack of beer a day, do you think I'm a problem drinker? I think that's pretty excessive, and I think a doctor would tell you that's way beyond the amount of alcohol you should be drinking. Yeah, I think that's definitely think. And let me tell you, if I drank 12 beers a day, that would be a problem for me. So, but a sober holiday here, unless you count barbecue. All the sides on homemade German chocolate cake. Mmm, Bev, congrats to you. Sorry, so let's call this guy here, and hopefully I can call him. He just I had him down to call, and he texted, and he had something kind of. Okay, here we go. So I just texted. He said I can't. Uh,
Hello?
Man, Al, is Tom Mabe, and I want to thank you for sharing. You and I had some private conversations outside of Sober Talk and talking about, and I will tell you that those were not very flattering photos, and I wouldn't think too much of it. So,
Thanks, Tom.
yeah, so other than that, how are you? Does that make you want to
Yeah.
drink when someone sends you some personal stuff like that, or?
Well, these days, thankfully not. That's I have to deal with life,
Yeah,
and I got to deal with life without drinking for me. Because quite frankly, my drinking got me in a lot of the jams that I've been in. As I mentioned through the email, I'm going through a divorce, and drinking was a humongous part of that got me to that place.
yeah. Do you think that you drank because you just weren't happy in your marriage, or do you think was being married a trigger, or?
I mean, of course, I could use that as an excuse. I think, in essence, it's more within me. I wasn't happy with me. I can't really blame another person. The marriage lasted for a long time, and we had our struggles, and eventually I drank and then didn't drink and drank and didn't drink, and so I put my family through an enormous amount of stress and disappointment, and there was dishonesty and all this kind of stuff that, when it comes down to it, I can't blame another person. I have to take responsibility. But now that I'm sober and I still have to deal with family,
Yeah.
my kids and my soon-to-be ex-wife, and so that's just something I have to live with on life terms, and I got to do it without drinking, because if I pick up that drink, I mean, I'm going to take a bad situation, and it's going to just multiply, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Right. Right. So what about? Are you doing meetings? And I'm reading some of the comments here. People talking about the COVID, and they're talking about how these Zoom meetings are better than nothing, but they're not as good as in person. And
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I am. Doing 12-step meetings and AA, and right now it's on Zoom, and it's not as personable, and I don't like it as much, but it's better than nothing. Also, I can get some connection with other people that are sharing similar struggles that I go through
right.
on a daily basis, and that's the most important thing. There's so many Zoom meetings. I can zoom into one all over the country, and if I don't like one, I can just leave and go to another one. And so I really have to connect with people that understand the problem that I have and the disease that I have. Because other people that don't have it aren't going to understand. They're not going to understand the turmoil and the disasters that we've created by drinking, and the struggles that we have by drinking, and the mind mess that's going on upstairs, like another alcoholic and the person that suffers.
On the phone, you said something. You call it like future casting or something like that, or future
Yeah, future tripping.
future
And
trip.
that's
No, yeah, what is that?
just getting in my own head and just worrying about the future and trying to, try to control things, kind of trying to put myself in situations where I try to control situations or people, and just obsessing about the future instead of just living in today. I mean, we all have to make plans to some extent, but just trying to take it one day at a time and not worry about tomorrow. I can't worry about what's life going to be like once I get divorced, and it's easy to do. I can just go down that rabbit hole and just obsess about it and worry about my kids and who my wife's seen and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I got to take care of myself. And if my
Well,
sobriety doesn't,
that has to be tough. So you're going through a divorce. You quit drinking, and do you mind telling us how long this time around you've been sober? How many days? How many months? How many weeks? I forget.
Yeah, excuse me. It hasn't been all that long this time, but it's been. I guess I'm pushing, gosh, about 35 days.
Okay.
And it's a start. I've had longer stints of sobriety, but I've never, as I think I've mentioned to you before, I've never really worked a hard program of recovery. I've just tried to sort of fight knuckle it, do it on my own, and people can. There's all sorts of different ways to recover. For me, just personally, it's a 12-step program.
Yeah.
Because I have to have sort of those directions, and I have to have that connection, and I have to have people I can connect to that have gone through it. And so yeah, I can sit here and say, oh, life's wonderful. It's not. And I can say, oh, I got the answers. I don't. I just, today I'm just living in today because it only has been a short time this time. But I can just put, hopefully, just one day after another day. And tomorrow I'll worry about tomorrow. Yesterday was a great day. I had a good day. Today was not so much. I got more in my head and more with dealing with my soon to be ex wife. And so I'm going to have those days. And I just have to keep on telling myself, this is going to pass. These bad feelings, just feeling sorry for myself, it's going to pass. And quite frankly, when I'm feeling great, it's going to pass. So it's just
That
that's
sucks.
just life.
Hey, you're in a good mood? Hey, don't worry, it's gonna pass. Jeez Louise.
That's right. That's right. Big downer right there.
Yeah, jeez Louise. That is really yeah, I was today I told my wife, I said, "Hey, you know what I want to do? I want to pick a kid and I got a weekend full of shows out of the way, which is really odd doing shows that when you're sober. Not least or at least without a couple 3 drinks before you go on stage. But I had
Mm.
really good shows, and then I had a couple of shows that were questionable because the crowd was so drunk. The audience was so drunk. I rarely do comedy clubs anymore, but I did a free comedy COVID comedy show for the Comedy Caravan in Louisville. They're dear friends of mine. We're like, we'll just try to get the momentum back up and get people used to going back out. And it was hard dealing with the drunks, but
Yeah.
no one tried to buy me a drink. I talked about being sober on stage, so maybe that's why people weren't sending me up drinks. It was lighthearted. I wasn't getting serious or biblical or anything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, there's gonna be good days and there's gonna be bad days. But I was telling my wife, I said I'd love to take a kid uh, and take one to maybe to Grand Canyon or Montana tomorrow. Just hop on a plane and fly and just go. Practice the whole safe COVID mask stuff or whatever, and just
Yeah.
go. And she said, no. Hold on real quick. David Gossman, 22 days sober, 4-day vacation in Orlando was tough, but I got through it. Congrats. There's a guy who's like us, Al David. David
Hey,
Gossman made it
great.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, David.
Yeah. So, but she said, no, I don't want you doing that. And I was like, why, COVID? And she said, no, because I'm afraid you'll drink if you get out and one of the kids starts getting on your nerves. I said, you know what? You're
Yeah.
probably right. And you got kids? Are they old? Are they young? Are they college? What you got going on?
Uh, two are teenagers and two are young. I have 4 kids,
Okay.
and yeah, and so the younger two are boys, and they still love me to death. I'm their dad, and always will be. And then they don't really know what's going on. There's 2 older girls that, quite honestly, have been affected by my drinking, and so that's a struggle, and hopefully that relationship will mend. And it's real tense sometimes between me and my wife. And the kids feel that, and that's why boundaries have got to be set. And I just, like I said, I've got to focus on my sobriety first and foremost, and can't worry about really anything else. And Tom, that's so easy to say because I can say that and still have these feelings that just bottle up inside. And so the last several days, I've been going for a lot of drives. I've been going for hikes. I've been calling a lot of people, talking to people, staying connected.
I've
Because I have the
enjoyed your
same.
calls. I've enjoyed becoming your buddy. It's been really, really
Yeah,
nice
well, I appreciate that.
getting on a call with you. You're you seem like a very educated, smart dude. And very.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, my smarts got me into this position. So
Oh, really? Well, maybe you're a
yeah,
dumbass. Maybe
yeah,
you're a full
yeah.
blown dumbass. I don't know.
I think I think that's where it is. My best thinking got me into this position where I am. So, but
Oh, jeez Louise. So the holiday weekend wasn't tough for you?
no, like I said, I had a good weekend. I spent some time. My father is getting older, has a little dementia. I got to spend some time with him yesterday. Made an amends to him just for all the behavior I did while I was younger and up until now, and just with my drinking and all that. And
Good.
he really appreciated that. That was nice. And then my mother passed away about 5 years ago. I had a chance to go to the graveside and just have a little alone time with her. And
Oh, that's
because
sweet. I haven't
yeah,
done that in a minute. I need to go see my mom. Hey, real quick, Dirk is gone 4,692 days today, not drinking, or 100,
wow,
112,608 hours. Dirk is a regular on the show, and so yeah, I've I've gone to see my mom. My mom passed away a few years ago, and
Hmm.
And it's always peaceful to go to her grave, and I don't stay long. I don't have it in me. I literally stay. I went there. I think it was Mother's Day or Father's Day. No, I guess it must have been Mother's Day. And people were literally tailgating, and this it was a cemetery uh, off of Hebron Lane out in Bullitt County, Kentucky. It's about it's about 20 minutes from where I live. But anyway, a lot of people were at the cemetery, and it was like they weren't grilling out or anything, but a lot of chairs around. It was really cool. I've never seen that before. I guess
Yeah, I haven't either.
yeah, it was. But let's see. Here's a guy that Brian said I had the opinion to stop or lose my or the option to stop or lose my family. Not worth it. A holiday was really hard. Did well after talking to my mom. A drunk, not good. That was Rhonda Lynn Mills. Totally sober, almost 4 years. Bev Holland. Hey, Bev. Oh, and Jim Hoyt. Jim Hoyt is day 4. What would you say to someone at day 4, Al? That's pretty.
Gosh,
That's enough sober days
yeah,
under your belt, right?
yeah. I mean, hang in there. It's going to definitely get better. That's awesome. That when you first, that first day it sucks, but it slowly gets better. And like I said, I mean, I'm not too long into it this time, and I had a great day yesterday, and not so much today. So, but again, going back to real quick, I had, for me, again, just me personally, I had to go through on a 12-step program because I had all the willpower in the past about, oh, I can't drink because I'll lose this or I'll lose that or my family will go. And I knew all those consequences, and those still were not enough for me to stop. I still picked up despite the consequences that I knew were going to happen. That's just my brain. That's just the addiction
It's
that
kind
I
of
had.
like peeing. It's kind of like peeing. It's kind of like peeing in bed while you're awake. It's just like it doesn't make sense that
Mm-hmm.
you know all the consequences, but you still
Yeah, you
are
still
going
do
to
it.
do it. But go ahead.
It's like I'm on. Yeah, it's like I'm on autopilot, and so that's why just the 12 steps helps me go through a process where I can rely on something other than myself to quit drinking. Because again, my willpower and my best thinking has gotten me into so many disastrous spots. And so,
Can I?
I'm sure I'll have more good days. I'll have more bad days, and I just can't future trip, and I can't catastrophize
Ooh,
every little thing
explain
that
what
happens.
catastrophize is.
Means that if I have a little problem, a little molehill of a problem, I want to turn it into a humongous mountain and worry about it over and over and over again. So I make catastrophes out of any situation that may be
Ah,
small.
so catastrophize. Well, I like that. So future tripping is where you just mind screw the hell out of something that's not even here yet. It's like when someone has a one-sided conversation or one-sided argument with you via email, and you never
Yeah,
reply, and they start. Okay, I gotta tell you something. So you're in the 12 steps, and I got a good buddy who lives close to me, who's been sober for 3 years. He's a step guy. I've known this guy for a long time. He's like me. He quits and he starts back, quits, starts back, and finally he just got to the point. I've had enough time. I had enough. And he went to a meeting. He is definitely into AA, like extremely into AA, and he said, "Hey, let's hook up and do some big book studying or reading. Let's read chapter 1, and we'll get hook up." and he's like very drill sergeant about it. Great guy. I love him to death. But his energy was more. Now, I guess that's why people get temporary sponsors because they just don't know if it's going to be uh, a fit. But his energy, and I need to call him back because I had to I had to skip our last little get together because I had shows and I forgot how to do like a little radio on an afternoon station here in town to promote the show, and he was very like, hey, when you want to get serious about not drinking and living your life, then you call me. And I'm like, dude, and again, I love the guy, dear friend. But have you ever had that situation where sometimes people just their energy doesn't match your pace? Like I assume you have a sponsor.
yeah, absolutely. And so the sponsor, the way I see it is, they're going to tell you, walk you through, help you, go through the steps, and and the sponsors, for the most part, I think if they're doing it right, they're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And I've had my feelings hurt many times. I've had my ego deflated. I've been told things I don't want to hear, but you know what? It's the truth, and it's just something I don't want to look at. Yeah, it's something I don't want to look at deep inside me that I'm still holding on to, that eventually brought me back out to drinking over the years. And so, that's why I have to sort of check my ego at the door and listen, open my ears up, and try to take advice and some direction from somebody. Now, some people, you might just not mix with for whatever reason. But, I think the sponsor's there not to be your buddy or pal necessarily. He's there to rely on to help you go through the steps and share his experience, strength, and hope about how he stopped drinking.
Yeah.
And try to pass it along. And with that comes a lot of stuff that I don't want to look at.
Here's Rhonda Lynn Mills. She says she's looking for a sponsor. Where do people find sponsors? Is the meetings, I guess, for the most part?
Yeah, I think a lot of times, in the meetings that you go to, if they're in-person meetings, and then usually they offer temporary sponsors, or somebody you can have as a temporary sponsor. Now with Zoom, I'm sure you can talk to the chairperson.
Yeah.
At some point, say, hey, I need a sponsor, or there's usually these district. They can look up district AA meetings, district office, or whatever, and they can call. There's usually a number they can call, and they can help that person find a sponsor and help them go through it. Because man, you can't do it alone. I mean, I've tried so many times to quit drinking by myself. Swearing it off, saying, "Hey, I'm not going to drink for a week or a year or whatever," and
right.
That afternoon I'm drinking, and so that's why, again, for me, people can do it, but for me, all my firm resolutions never worked. I had to have help.
Dirk just said something. He said, "Doesn't matter if it's 1,000 days or 1 day. It is a day sober." So you guys don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mike Mann, Mike Mon, Mahne says meetings is the way to go. Self-sabotage is an enemy of sobriety. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like I said, if I get in my head too long, I'm going to have my little plans and designs and little schemes going on about how I can manipulate a situation or control something, and I just can't do that. Like I said, I had to surrender that I'm an alcoholic. And I cannot pick up a drink, and I have to have help and direction.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
I'm losing my, some people will comment, then I'll lose a comment, so I want to interrupt. I'm not being rude.
No, you're good.
This guy, David and Cooley Jr. says, look at their sobriety. If that's what you want, that's the person. Don't just keep switching until you find one who is nice or will just tell you what you want to hear.
Absolutely.
Not that is what you're doing is just doing. I had a guy, I was doing my 5th step, and I've never met this guy. And it was someone, a buddy who we spoke of earlier, hooked me up with this. And he was so mean or whatever. And, you do your resentments, and now I feel like the guy's a resentment. And he said, no, you need to go back and do resentment on, your family members, your siblings growing up, your dad that ran off. And I'm like, okay, that's good. That's really, I get it, but I guess it's tough love. And boy, a lot of stuff that he said, he said, no, that's your ego. That's your ego. That's why you acted that way toward that person or this or that. I don't know, that was drunk. That's why I acted that way toward that person. And I realized that making amends is not apologizing, is it? When you make amends,
no. No, and when I make an amends, I quickly tell the person, look, this is more than just saying I'm sorry. Sorries are easy to say, and I can say them a million times and they mean nothing. Making amends is taking affirmative action and recognizing how I have harmed another person, looking at the damage or harm that I've caused another human being. Because I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to harm another person again. I mean, I've done that with my drinking. And even when I'm not drinking, if I'm in that sort of dry drunk stage, I still can harm people. And so that's the purpose of an amends, to recognize and tell them, this is how I've harmed you. And just spit it out, everything that you feel like you've done. And then you ask them basically, well, what have I missed? And then you ask, how has this affected you? And then the most important thing is, well, how can I make this right? If I stole money or whatever it is, repay it or whatever you can do.
Also, I heard someone say they were making amends, and they someone just sent me a picture of me in junior high. God, I was cute. I was adorable. Oh my God. Thanks for sending that. Uh, uh, that's Paula Lay. Uh, Keep your side of the street clean. Don't go, well, I did this, but in all fairness, you said this about this and that, and you made fun of my kid, or
Yeah.
you made fun of this, or whatever it may be, or you stole money from me, whatever. You cannot go into the amends that way. It's keep your side of the street clean. I've been reading that a lot in my little app here. I've heard that a few times. Keep your side of the street clean. Don't worry about everyone
Yeah.
else.
And the problems that I've had in the past is I've never, completely gone through the 12 steps. I've always stopped, and I've never made complete amends. And that's just the whole purpose is that complete house cleaning, so to speak, where you just get all this garbage out. Because again, there's been times where I don't drink, but, I still, there's that famous saying that drinking is just a symptom. Basically it's my thinking that's the problem. It's me that's the problem. Drinking is just a symptom. And so that's why I have, take the drink aside. If I'm not working, again, for me, if I'm not working a program, I'm still going to be that twisted character that I don't want to be. And so that's the whole purpose of going through the 12 steps. They say, God, I forgot the saying, but it's like, you have a horse thief and a drunk horse thief that doesn't drink. What do you have? You have a horse thief. So, you still have that thief, even though they're not drinking, but that's why you have to get all that garbage out, that causes me to repeat the same behavior. And I can do that with or without a drink. And that's why I can cause harm to other people with or without a drink. And that's why I don't want to do that. My whole purpose is not to harm another human being. I see how it affects my kids. I see how it affects my wife. My wife of 17 years is finally had enough, and I don't blame her. I can get mad and I can get self pity and I can say, "Oh, poor me, she's doing this to me." But look, I'm the catalyst a lot. Not to say that she's not completely innocent in all this. I mean, it takes two.
Right,
But
right.
she had the guts and the courage to leave a bad situation. I have to give her that because I didn't, and I was just wrecking everything left and right. And
Does your wife
I look
drink?
back.
Did your wife drink?
No, she doesn't drink.
Okay,
No, she doesn't. She
gotcha.
so,
So that must be
but
even harder for. Well, I think if you're trying to quit and you guys are still together, it would be tough. When I went the last time, I told you I would make my employee at 4 o'clock. I was like, someone's getting a drink. I'm making someone a damn strong drink right now because I've had one. I don't know what that's called, but I read that's sometimes normal. I would make my employees drinks, even the
mhm,
14-year-old kids working here illegally under what could be against child labor law. But we don't talk about that. That's nothing. I'm sorry, I'm teasing people. But no, man, it's so great. I was going to tell you something else. One guy just said here, a Cruz. I think it's Dennis Cruz. DA Dennis Cruz. Don't even want to do the math. Thanks you for all the love. That's DA Dennis Cruz. So he said he spent $168 a week on alcohol. That's a lot
mhm.
of money, man. If you add that's a nice little that's a Lexus car payment. Just think of the money. It's a waste. The alcohol and smoking and it's a waste of money and waste of life. And again, if you can
Sure.
drink, someone asked me earlier, he said, if I drink 12 beers a day, do you think I have a problem? And I'm afraid to say anything. I'm afraid I'm going, well, he Tom Mabe's a drinking problem, or this and that, and something's going to come from that. Or I've been through my share of fraudulent, bogus lawsuits. People sue me, and I'm afraid to do it. But I just want to say I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any medical advice. But if I drank 12 beers a day, oh my gosh, that'd be a huge problem. And I did. That's why I had to quit.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think anyone with common sense would not think that 12 beers a day was could be a problem. Uh,
Sure.
and what was your drink of choice? Were you a beer guy or?
Usually I was pretty much anything that would just get me that buzz going, and I didn't really care. So it started out as beer, and then if I didn't have that, I'd do anything else. I mean, I ended up doing like straight vodka, just so I could get that buzz. I always wanted to be this social drinker and have all this conviviality with other people, and live life and be wonderful and celebrate and have fun with other people. But the bottom line is, I never did that when I drank. I ended up by myself. I ended up trying to sneak it. I ended
Yeah.
up just trying to drink, and then got just wasted and plastered. And now I can actually have the opportunity to live life because I wasn't. And again, a lot of people can drink socially and do one or two. I never could.
Yeah, I can.
I just one.
I'm drunk before the garage door shuts, going to happy
Yeah,
hour. I was.
yeah,
By the way, I want to.
me too.
Mike Man Mon Mahne. He says he's got to leave because the stream keeps messing up. If any of you guys are out there, I've asked my IT guys. My people are watching at home, Al, and it keeps blocking up on them. The Wi-Fi, their Wi. I know with me, if I try to watch now, once the live feed is over, no issue going back and watching. But for some reason, I'm having issues. A few people. If I have 100 comments, 20 of them saying that the live stream is messing up. I don't know. I don't think it's on my end. We have a pretty strong blah 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 everything we're supposed to have here. I asked my IT guy. He said it was most likely on the viewers end and possibly the router, or not the router, but the browser, so computer fancy
Mhm.
schmancy stuff. So what's I got this app, and I read. I think you're familiar with this. I was talking about you. I was talking to you about is that what a my toolkit app. No affiliation with us. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. It's just a cool little thing. But the daily reflection today was cool. It tells me, are you using some kind of app? What are you using on your phone for
Yeah, it's. I think it's called my spiritual toolkit, but
your
I haven't
spiritual?
used that. Yeah, I haven't used that yet, but I have. Um, there's something called In the Rooms, where you can connect. It's an app that you can go and get in the room, and you can connect and get all sorts of meetings, whether it's Alcoholics Anonymous
Yes,
or
yes.
Narcotics Anonymous or Overeaters Anonymous or just counseling of any kind of
Anonymous.
situation.
People who have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of tools out there that people can use, especially in the days of COVID.
Well, I got to tell you something about the retention tonight. We're getting more people watching live, and I think we're trying to get people to like the Facebook page, Sober Talk. So if you guys could do that, boy, that would be so great. If you could watch that, and this is great. Al, I'm going to jump off here and see if I can get another uh, someone else on the phone before I wrap up. I'm going to be wrapping up here in a minute, and
Okay, Tom.
but man, it's so great. Dennis Cruz says, no problem here in Florida with your streaming. And real quick before you go, I usually drink a couple of times a week. For the last 3 days, I have not touched anything due to finding three one-day-old kittens dumped in front of my house in a box. Been feeding them every 2 hours and dedicating my life to that instead of something non-productive. Feeling better about myself and the process as well. Saving lives is saving mine. You're an inspiration. Stay strong. You're very handsome, Tom Mabe. You're good looking, and you're cool as hell. I'm just reading. I'm just paraphrasing. No, I'm teasing. But no,
How much did you pay him?
That's Jesse Westerman. No, man, that's great. So 3 kittens that someone put in the front yard. Oh, gee, kittens are the best. It's my 53rd. I lost it. I lose. Someone says their 53rd birthday. I was in love with tequila and painkillers. Someone said. Uh, AAA for people trying to quit meetings. I always heard that AAA was for real bad alcoholics. Just stumbled upon the show. I love to do every day. CJ Wilson. I love to do it every day. This is well, yeah, CJ. We're going to try. I think every day may be a tad much. I just don't know. I get overcommitted and then I go. But boy, I got to tell you, Al. I get up in the morning. Today I got up really early. Today I got like at 4:45. I did my. I do this. I get. Do you find that having rituals when you're quitting drinking? Here's something for you guys that tune into at home. For having things to do, like I'm going to walk a mile when I wake up. I'm going to do a Zoom meeting at 7. Uh, I call it work ethic. I get my kids or myself. Okay, look at this kitchen. This kitchen is a mess. Set the timer on the microwave for 15 minutes, and I go and I clean this kitchen up the best I can in 15 minutes. If I need to add minutes, sometimes I get down in 10. But do you find having some structure? That's something that I've really, because I was drinking would just come throughout the day and at night, and I would just drink, drink, drink. I have no structure, but having other things to do. Do you have that in your life? Structure?
Yeah, absolutely. In the morning, I get up and I go through a little routine. I have some materials that I read through daily, and then followed by a little meditation period where I just try to relax and clear my mind some. And through the day, I try to keep in touch with friends that are not drinking also, because again, I need that support and that help. Usually, not so much recently, just because of some physical
Hey,
issues.
hey,
But
I'm gonna interrupt before we lose this comment here. It says I'm running my family. My wife is a wait. I'm running my family. My wife is a drunk. I'm trying to figure out how to figure out my drinking problems without her quitting drinking. Hold on. I'm running my family. My wife is a drunk. I'm trying to figure out how to figure out my drinking problems without her quitting drinking. This is Chris Hauser. Uh, I'm going to lose his comment. That's why I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Al, but that's the kind of thing. People, what would you tell somebody? I'm a drunk. I'm screwing up my family. I'm a piece of crap. What does one do when they just need that first initial? All right, calm down. We're stopping tomorrow. Or what would you tell someone like that?
I think first of all, you got to work on yourself first and foremost. You can't force someone else to drink, and I think if you work on yourself, you go to meetings, reach out, ask for help. Maybe if there's a family member that's drinking, there's other 12-step programs like Al-Anon that are good for dealing with family members that drink, that would help you set boundaries and help deal with codependency. That's huge for me that I have to deal with also. Because again, I can't control another person. No matter how much I want to, I have to do myself. And just like my wife, at some point she had to step away from the marriage. And I feel like I'm on a healthy track now, but it's too late. And so she had to do what was best for her and the kids, and I have to do what's best for me at this point. And so, first of all, concentrate on yourself, and then second of all, deal with issues of codependency and join groups that help help you set boundaries and learn how to do those things with other members that might still be drinking.
Do you think that this guy's having a Chris Hauser? Pamela Davis says that I think he's having a hard time quitting while living with a drinking wife. Do you think that this is if you're trying to quit and your spouse, be it your husband or wife, is a drunk, is that gonna? Your wife was sober and she lived the. My wife was sober and she lived the drunk for 25, 26 years. I was on and off drinking, and I remember my wife told me, she asked one of my friends, "Is this normal to drink beer every day?" And my friend's like, "Yeah, because we all grew up drinking. That's what we did. Not. I didn't drink until I was 19, 20, maybe 20. I wasn't like a teenager drinker or anything like that. But if you're trying to, she's a narcissist. Chris says she's a narcissist. I can't be sober in a drunk house. I have the desire. She does not see that she needs help." Dude, talk about keeping your side of the road clean. Don't worry about her, like Al says. Just worry about yourself. If you have to move out, move in with your brother, your cousin, or do something. But I can tell you how this is going to play out. You're going to crash and burn. Nothing's good. Nothing good is going to come from this situation. You have to quit. She has to quit. Or I don't know. If you can't quit in a house with another person who's drunk as well, then take a time out, take a leave of absence. That's my 2 cents. What do you think, Al? Would you try to get out of that situation? Could you? Well, I mean, I don't want to give
Yeah,
anybody marital advice or anything, which I'm not.
yeah. I was about to say, I'm certainly not a marriage counselor or a therapist.
Same
If I
here.
was, everybody would be in trouble. But I think you might have to make hard decisions. I mean, he may have to make hard decisions and just say, hey, look, I can't do this anymore, and it's affecting me and my sobriety and or me trying to get sober, and put those boundaries in place. And sometimes people will respect that, and
Yeah.
sometimes they won't. And so
Eddie Branson, this sounds familiar. You and I had this talk. Eddie Branson says, You pack 2 bags and make them choose. So you pack a bag for them and you pack a bag for you. Either you go or I go. We were talking about yesterday on the phone about a guy in rehab or something who his wife packed a bag and said a bag for him, packed a bag for her. She said either you go to rehab, here's your bag, or I'm going home, or I'm moving
Mm-hmm.
out. Yeah, so I like that you pack 2 bags. He says, I can't detox but come home to a drunk house. I have no resources. Chris Hauser, well, you got to figure it out, dude. But either get used to her being drunk without you being drunk. And I promise you can. Get a few days under your belt. Don't live or die by that one day. Get that one day under your belt. Get 2 days under your belt. And I promise by the third day, you'll be able to live in that house with a wife drunk. But you're not going to be living it off if you keep on doing it. John Clare, proud of you, Tom. Hey, Johnny. That's John. John, you going to come? Hey, man. So John Clare's here. John Clare has a great Halloween party coming up. He has a giant Halloween. There's gonna be lots of drinking there. I'll take Melanie. She'll drink, and I won't. But anywho, Al, I gotta tell you, I got a lot of people saying, "Dude, you're killing. What are you doing to your career? No, I'm doing great things for my career. I'm not drinking. I posted one day like, hey guys, I quit drinking. I did that so people like hold me accountable. But a lot of people think I'm doing a bad thing, but for me. But it's not about me. It's about it is. It helps me. It helps me to talk about not
Sure.
drinking. It's like a little meeting. It's like a meeting with a. I got 176 people right now, 175 people watching me right now, and they're making comments. It's cool as hell that I can
Mm-hmm.
do this. I don't know. That's why I'm trying to switch over to my new Facebook page, guys. In the description, it says Sober Talk. Click on that, please. Follow that page, like that page, because this is my comedy page, and this is where I not talk about, no, where I don't talk about being a drunk or whatever, sober, whatever. But well, Al, I want to jump off here, bro. I want to let you go because I'm going to wrap up. It's dark here, and I need to make a run for my truck before I get killed or something. I always worry about leaving here. So
Okay, Tom. Well, thanks. I appreciate you talking to me.
no, dude, you're always. I love when you let me call you and you call in and all that kind of good stuff. And I'll call you off air and discuss the text that we had earlier, back and forth. That's pretty funny, and I think you'll feel better after talking with me about that.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Al. We'll talk to you. Bye bye.
Okay, Tom. Thanks.
So that was Al. He's been sober for 31 days. Congrats to him. I've been sober for what 51 days. It said on my little app. People have their workout apps. I got this non-drinking app. It's freaking badass. It's awesome. 52 days, 1,256 hours, 1.72 months. It's not, so this Chris Hauser got me kind of concerned. He said it's not violence or neglect. It's just if she drinks, I feel the need. I feel the need to if she. Good night, brother. Chris Hauser. Good night to you. Good luck to you. Uh, it doesn't the way I'm set up right now. I can't read the comments. I can read like 4 comments at a time. And guys, this has been great. This is probably one of the better ones, and I'm having a good time. I want to thank everyone who came out to the show in Louisville, Kentucky, at the Comedy Caravan. We had a great weekend. They told me they sold $4,800 worth of alcohol. I was pushing everyone to drink, although I wasn't drinking. Uh, so that was cool. Dennis Cruz, you are doing a great job. You have opened my eyes without someone that knows me doing. Do it, love your brother, Trump 2020. That's DA Dennis Cruz. Chris says good night. Thank you, Tom. Chris has. Hey guys, that's it. I love you. I want to say thanks for letting me do this. This helps me more than it helps you guys, and we'll see you next time. All right, bye. There we are. We're back in the control room. Got to walk over here. Yay! Check one, check two. There we are. A different mic in here than the other. This is a Rode condenser mic. So, guys, in the description, go ahead and click that this link to Tom Mabe It's the link is actually Sober Talk. Click on Sober Talk and go over to that. And love you. Talk to you soon.